The long wait is almost over for matriculants awaiting their examination results. The Independent Examination Board will announce the results for private schools at midnight tonight. Basic Education Minister Anne Oberholzer will give an overview of the national matric pass rate tomorrow evening. The results of the National Senior Certificate exam will be released on Friday. Last week, the quality assurance body, Umalusi, commended the national and provincial basic education departments for ensuring that there were no systemic irregularities in the 2018 matric examinations. Almost 800,000 learners around the country sat for the final examinations last year. Well, for more on this story, I'm joined in studio by the Basic Education spokesperson, Elijah Mhlanga. Good afternoon, Elijah. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff. So, obviously, this is a very big week for you. Just tell us what we can expect in the coming hours and days.
Well, tomorrow the minister in the morning will be hosting a breakfast session with the top achievers and their parents in Midrand. It's her only opportunity to meet the top achievers and to talk to them, to find out what it is that they do for them to achieve at this level. And by the way, they come from all sorts of schools, rural, city, suburban, and all those things. So it shows that our top achievers come and overcome all sorts of environments for them. So she will be meeting them in the morning, but in the afternoon at 6, right here on SABC, she will be unveiling the pass rate for 2018 as well as the provincial pass rates, and also talk about what it is that we did to make improvements in the system in terms of learner support, but also in terms of improving the examination system itself. As you said, that Umalusi did say that in 2018 we ran an incident-free examinations, which is true. It is because of the effort that we had put into the system to make sure that it improves year on year.
Of course, as you've mentioned, it's going to be the minister's baby to announce what the overall result is tomorrow. But obviously we don't expect you to give us any clue, but has there been an improvement? We saw last year that there was an improvement. Can we expect an improvement?
You're asking me to give you the results. I'm not going to.
I'm not asking you to give me the number, a sense of how we're doing. Every
year we work towards an improvement. We put all our resources and energy towards making sure that the system improves. We don't put targets because there are many factors that could affect performance. But we do a lot to support our learners, to support our schools. Every year we analyze the results to look at the system. What is it that needs to be done? Which areas need interventions? And then we go in and we do the work. And we did a lot of work. If you look at the work that the Director General did, visiting provinces, visiting teachers, talking to school principals as well, also interacting with learners, asking them what it is that we can do as a department to make sure that your learning experience is pleasant and that you improve your performance. So that interaction is also something that was given to Umalusi, and it's what we call evidence-based report of the work that we did, so that when the minister announces the results, it makes sense to people what it is that we do during the year, so that the results are not out of context. It's just an improvement or whatever that happens out of nowhere. It has to be within a context. So we will do all of that. But every year we always say, even if the results remain the same, we are happy as long as there's no drop. So if there's an improvement, it's something that we need to celebrate. But what we need to do after that is to say, what are those areas that we need to build on and what are areas that need urgent intervention. And we've been doing that. And by the way, the class of 2018 was writing the exam for the 10th time, because the current national senior certificate came into place in 2008. But again, they were the 5th cohort of a group that were writing in the new curriculum caps. So there's so much to look forward to in terms of what the minister is going to say, in terms of the maturity of the system, in terms of the curriculum performance, and also the performance of our teachers and our learners, and the innovations that are there, because we introduced 12 new subjects in the system. One of them is the South African Sign Language, but there's also civil technology, construction. There's all sorts of things that we did in 2018. So there's quite a lot that the minister is going to talk about around the exams even after she has said this is the pass rate for 2018.
Last week or so, there was a bit of back and forth between Umalusi and the MSc for Gauteng around the adjustment of marks. What can you tell us about the adjustment of marks in terms of the NSC?
Well, the adjustment of the marks, we call it standardization in the basic education sector. It's something that has been there for a long time, probably more than 100 years. Even your results, it doesn't matter where you wrote them in the world, by the way, because standardization is a universal phenomenon in the education system. What happens is that a question paper will be set, moderated, agreed to, and agreed that this paper is going to be written by the learners in a particular subject. But no one knows how difficult or easy it's going to be before it has been written. So once the paper has been written, you are now able to see how the learners have done, because the information will be captured, their marks will be captured, and then you will see a huge drop or a huge increase in terms of the passes. And then you take that performance and you read it against the performance of that subject of the past 3 to 5 years. So if you see that there's something unusual, you then move into standardized. And what that means is that you compensate them if the paper was too difficult and the results show a huge unusual drop out of the norm based on a 5-year period. If it was too easy, you'll see everyone passing a subject that they would not normally pass. How do you know that? It's because you look at the performance of that subject over a 3 to 5 year period. So if you see that, you then bring it to the norm. Even that adjustment, downwards or upwards, cannot be more than 10%. So that is exactly what is happening. It happens in the public education system as well as in the private education system, as you might have seen that IEB also does the same. By the way, all the assessment bodies, IEB, Sakai, DHGT, DBE, they all go through the hands of Umalusi, who does the quality assurance work and who does the standardization as well. So there shouldn't be any worries around that. It's a debate that always happens at this time, but we also understand that it comes from that anxiety about how people have performed, and it always gets discussed. But there is nothing new that we did. There's nothing wrong that happened either.
All right, Elijah, we're going to leave it there and we'll wait to hear what the minister has to say tomorrow. That was Elijah Mhlanga. He's the education spokesperson, just giving us an overview of what we can expect in terms of the matric results.